My name is Elmar Juergens. I have a PhD in computer science and I'm one of the founders of CQSE. We noticed that there's a lot of information that we can collect during development and testing, which helps teams improve their testing practices. And we decided to found a spin-off from the Technical University of Munich to have the research we did have more impact in practice. We see that a lot of teams get less and less time to do their testing, although the functionality they need to test gets more and more from release to release. And this makes it more challenging not to have critical bugs slip through into production. And what we see we can help here is that we combine the information we gather from a version control system, where we see the activity from developers, and from test environments, where we can capture which code actually got executed. We can combine that information to help improve the effectiveness of testing. And we do that by identifying which changes were not tested and tell that to teams before they have to ship their product. And from our experience and also from research, we know that the untested changes are the areas that are most bug prone, and we help teams to close those test gaps before they ship their code into production. It's a complement of the risk-based approach, and risk comes in two forms. One area of the risk is the impact a bug would have in production, and that's the area you are already addressing. And the second half is how likely a bug is from the development perspective, because the code changed or because the code is very complex and because it wasn't tested. And we come in the second half and determine which areas should be retested because they're highly bug prone, because they recently changed since the last release. We are partnering to have our tools more closely integrated so that our tool TeamScale can plug into Tosca to receive a lot of the information about which test case is getting executed when during testing. We integrate TeamScale into Tosca to get the information which test case gets executed when, and this allows us to capture the information which test case executes which part of your software during testing. So for every single test case, we know which code gets executed. We can also use that information to speed up testing. Because if you do testing on continuous basis, then on most days, your tests won't find new bugs because the code they executed didn't change. And with test impact analysis, we can select and prioritize your test cases so that they will find new bugs very quickly. Because we know what code changed since the last test run. We also know which test cases execute which code, and so we can select and sort those test cases that are most likely to find new bugs quickly. In our studies, we found 80% of the bugs in 1% of the test execution time. If you want to learn more about test gap analysis or test impact analysis, look at the Tricentis blog, or look at the presentation I gave at Accelerate, or visit our webpage at cqse.eu.